I am early, but I wanted to see how things were going to work out. So I'm on here now waiting for everyone. Kind of playing around with the view that you guys have. So thanks for joining me. If you are also early, sometimes that's good, right? So because I've had technical difficulties in the past, I wanted to be here with you guys a little before the start. So thanks for being here. Playing around with my view and seeing what it looks like to you guys. I'm so glad. Hi, Michelle. I see you. Mm, 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 mm. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, Bethany. Oh my goodness. This is finally working out. Okay. So we'll wait a few more minutes and then I will begin. Let me explain a little bit about the format for those of you that are early. I'm going to do a half-hour chat about the year of the fire horse, what to expect, some of the energies, how do we harness it, how do we work it to our advantage, where do we lay low. Then the last 15 minutes, I'd love for your questions. Also, at the very end, I will end with an imagery exercise from Dr. Jerry, and it's a great way to set the tone for the new year. So thanks for being patient as we wait for 2:00. And then I will begin. So I hope you all had a great new year, a great holiday season. I'm a little happy it's over, not gonna lie. It's nice to get back to a routine. I thrive for those. It's nice to get back to a little bit of your schedule. So I'm happy for the new year. This is going to be a great year. This is my year. I was born the year of Fire Horse. I'll talk more about that, of course. So anyone turning 60, and I'll reiterate more, is born the year of the Fire Horse. However, we always have to kind of accommodate for that Chinese New Year in or around February 4th. This year, the first day of New Year will be the 17th. All right, I'm about 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds away. I'm going to begin. So thank you all for being with me. I appreciate you so much. This is my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Jackie Pepper. Thanks for being with me. We're going to talk today about the Chinese Lunar New Year of the Fire Horse. A very, very exciting year for me as I was born in the year of the Fire Horse. And for those that follow Chinese astrology, there is a 60-year cycle before fire meets back up with horse again. So that's exciting. There's 5 elements in Chinese astrology, in feng shui, in Chinese medicine. Really, the culture at hand utilizes these 5 elements. So this year is the year of the fire horse, but you can get the other elements as well: wood, metal, earth, and wood. Did I say that? Water. Anyway, you get the idea. So welcome Welcome to my YouTube channel. Jackie Pepper here. We're going to be discussing the year of the fire horse. I did a little bit of the astrology. I'll tell you, it's kind of interesting. So I read and write Chinese. I used to say I speak it, but honestly, because I don't practice it as much as I used to, I'm going to say a little bit on that one. But what's interesting is I utilized this year 2/17/26. This will be the start of Fire Horse. So Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year is usually the first new moon of the year. That's usually how they go by. And in this particular case, we're a little late, but it's around February 4th every year. And I actually did the astrology as if this year was a client and I was doing a reading for it. I thought that would be an interesting way to approach it, doing the 9 star numbers. We got a 187. So this year in numerology is going to be the one water connected to the moon, very intuitive, that deep wisdom. We're in the water season now. For those that have been following along, thank you. We're in the great yin. We're going within. We're sowing the seeds. We're kind of resting up for this new year that's about to run loose and gallop. It's going to be an exciting year. So I'll get back into the numerology. Let me jump into Fire Horse. Fire is a dynamic element. It always needs a host. It loves oxygen. It loves wood. It likes to have an audience. Horse, in that same respect, loves to gallop with their friends, be in a herd of like minded people. They like to run and be free. What I always say is don't corral the horses, certainly not the fire horses. Unfortunately, for those that were born in China under that regime of a one child limit, I'm not really sure of the details on it. I'm not going to get too far into it, but I know fire horses, female, were the hardest to marry off, the hardest to kind of wrangle in. Think of that rope tying around the neck of a horse like a cowboy. Very hard to wrangle those wild horses. So, interestingly enough, my grandmother and grandfather, but the female part of it, my grandmother was a fire horse and born in 1906, didn't get married till she was 27. That was late back in those days, and had her child, my mom, at 30. And then my mom had me at 30. So here we are back to my year of the fire horse comes around every 60 years. So anybody turning 60 this year, and I have a couple of famous people, so the old timers that are fire horses, Rembrandt, Thomas Edison. Some of the newer ones in the female category, again, Cindy Crawford, Halle Berry. So we're in great company, us fire horses, for this year. So don't try to corral us. Don't try to limit us. Don't give us rules. Now, of course, astrology deals with so many things. In Chinese astrology, we're dealing with 4 pillars. So this is your year, your month, your day, and your hour. And every one of these pillars represents an energy in our lives. So when I was doing the year, which is the year of the fire horse here, it's a yang year. Okay, so the fire horse. And if we opened up horse, let's say we cracked open out of the 12 animals this horse, we would find fire. So each one of the 12 animal branches, we call them earth branches in Chinese astrology, they all carry an element with them. So what's interesting is we have the double fire horse, if you think of it that way, because in this year it pairs with the element of fire. Very dynamic. Let's see. This year is born in the springtime. We have already entered by this point February 17th, which will be the actual official start of the horse, the fire horse. But does energy flip on like a light switch? No, it doesn't. It takes its time. We're already feeling the change. Here comes our Western New Year and following the energy of the Eastern new year. So that horse is already getting ready to gallop. We see the change already. Let's talk just a wee bit about that pesky wood snake that we're letting go of. So we still have a few more weeks, about 4 more weeks before 5 weeks, where you want to shed those skins, get your aims proper. I call them intentions or aims, not necessarily goals. The reason I do that in my practice is because we are not really beholden to control the outcomes of things. We can control sowing the seeds, directing our sails to that energy that we want to aim for. But the outcome isn't for us. Sometimes the outcome is even better when we turn it over and allow spirit and divine to come up with the endings of things. So, aims and intentions, we start to set those now so that when that energy comes full force on the 17th and then some, it takes a minute for this shift to arise as we get into the dynamic fire horse that loves to have everyone around them. This will be a time of community. We will be leaning on each other. I'm going to be co hosting an event on February 8th locally from 3 to 6 to bring in the Chinese New Year. So I hope if you're in the area, you will consider joining us for that event. But this will be a very community like minded. Remember, horse loves to run with the crowd, run with their people. So this will be a great time to connect. Fire the same. We have that double fire energy. So really, this is a great time. Join the book club. Uh, get into the community if you're into the spiritual world of like-minded people. Find your place, your community. I'll be doing these monthly meetups every month around the full moon right here on my YouTube channel. Would love for you to make this your new community. So the fire horse, let's see, the best years for horses buddies, good old dog and tiger. So if you're born in the year of dog or tiger, and again, my YouTube channel has all my library, and you can calculate your own Minquan number. You can join in with all this, take notes, and then go back and figure out how to find out what year you were born. Or in the good old day of Google, we can do that too. But a great year for tiger and dogs. So there's a harmony, a trine. Each of the animals have their two buddies that they get along with, the trine, the triangle, the strongest symbol in nature, and happens to be the symbol of fire. If you followed along on the 5 elements on my YouTube channel, fire has a color, reds and purples. It's got a shape in triangular, a triangle. And these are some of the things we utilize. It's also connected to the south in direction, and the times are 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., 12 noon, being directly on the horse. What else can I say about that? Not a great year for rats. If you're born in the year of rat, get your talismans ready. Put a little red talisman near your door. Rat might have some challenges. Funny enough, I'm born the year of the horse, the day of the rat. Go figure. I am very different. I actually did a 180 in my life. For those of you who have known me since I was born, you'll know that I was very different in my teenage years. And now I've opened up spiritually, and I've pretty much come 180 degrees from who I was. And yet, of course, I'm still the fire horse, right? But I'm the day of the water rat. So your day, it happens more after puberty. For the Chinese believe after puberty, you're not so much your year of birth, you become more your day, you mature into that. So not a great year for rats, but we're going to support that because all of the challenges, and we will still have some, yes, it creates the grit. If you've followed along with me, if you've had a reading with me, you know that there's never a negative, never a bad, never well, there are painful moments, but we're learning from all of it. So this year, with the one moon, the one water, and the fire, there will be conflict. But it's kind of like that pearl in the oyster, the sand, the grit rubs and rubs and rubs. And what happens? Becomes a pearl. So I'm always looking for the silver linings. What is happening here? Everything's unfolding for the greatest and highest good at all times. We need to trust that more as a community and really lean on our faith. If you grew up with faith, I grew up strict Catholic and now I'm recovering, but I appreciate so much that foundation that I was able to rebel against and do my search for. I'm a seeker of the truth. Truth can be come in many ways, but the real truth, which is this spiritual plane, um, it can't change, right? So that's how you know everything here in this earth plane can change, can metamorphosize. Energy's never dying, it's always transforming. That's why I love the mind body space spirit connection if you work with me, because we're implementing what you say you want in your life, in your space, in your mind, in your body, in your soul. That's the way we do it. So lots of changes for this year. They're going to be brought about with force and sheer will. Eeks. We saw that last night in this whole Venezuelan attack, if you will. So unfortunately, there are going to be forceful moments. The horse, especially the fire horse, works on sheer will. They will things to be. The power of that force will be fierce this year. Also, it can be an impulsive year. Fire in an imbalanced state. And we discussed that we're in the year of fire horse. And if we crack open fire, there's a fire element in there. So it's connected to fire all on its own. That double fire is the sense that horse, and it's a fixed element, really hot blooded, easily excitable, can be impulsive, can be volatile at times. Horse, and there are 7 special stars in your chart that can be possible. Horse is travel star. So if I say you have horse star as one of your special stars, it means travel, it means movement, it means you got the itch, it means something's got to change, right? So horse is a very changeable year. I wouldn't be surprised at all if a lot changes, but we're coming off of that slow wood snake, and it's not going to be as quick, although overnight we saw that in some cases it might be. So travel, movement, change. This is a great time. If you're looking for change in your life, set the aim, set the intentions. Let's get it done. Work on your feng shui. Follow along on my YouTube channel, and I give lots of goodies. Tuesday is my feng shui astrology day, and Friday is feng shui Friday. Thank Ganesha, it's feng shui, right? Or Tonka Ganesha, I used to say. I love that. All right, horses don't like supervision. Yeah, we really don't. I work for myself for a reason. I've been self-employed. I thought about it. Gosh, it's going on. Wow, it's 30 years. 96 started the seeds a sowing, and here I am. Yeah, we don't like supervision, especially from advisors, right? We're not really great at taking advice, us fire horses. For those joining later in this session, I am born the year of the fire horse, so I can speak from experience about some of this. And of course, I have some of my notes here. We're competitive. We're thrill seekers. I'm a risk taker for a lot of things, but I didn't want to leave home until I was 30. Go figure. Once I left home, I was like, wait a minute. What was I waiting for all these years, right? Then you couldn't get me to settle down. I love to travel. I've traveled the world. I studied in the Far East. Loved it. I was there for 2 months. So we love movement, travel, thrill seeking, risk taking. but not at all times and not on every levels. You can see where it can become personal. We're very skillful at resolving conflicts that are complicated, but we can also be argumentative and unreasonable. Go figure. So, again, if you followed along with me, the yin and the yang, we are both sides of this same coin. And fire has positives and negatives, although, again, those labels, don't love them, but we need to use them in this earth plane world to kind of describe and explain. And horse has positives and negatives. Horse will not quit without a battle and most likely will win. So we're going to see that this year. Not sure where some of this is going to go with Venezuela. The jury is still out. It's new. But I think with politics, it's going to get radical. And we probably have to get a little radical. Let's all remember it's got to get darkest before it gets light. It's got to get messy before it gets clean. You know, same with the yin and the yang, the two sides of that same coin. It's also elegant. You know, we love the finer things in life. I'm a Leo horse. Oof, we're double finer things in life. So there goes that elegant and fervor, right? So fire is life. It's joy. It's fervor. It's excitement. It's thrill. But fire in an imbalanced state can be melancholy. It can be impulsive. We can burn out. Think of it in its element as a whole, right? Fire can burn itself out from doing too much. So find that rhythm of your balance, especially this year, because it's going to take off. We're going to be galloping this year. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, Chinese New Year goes in and around that February 4th area, somewhere along February, end of January, the new year comes in. So once February 17th, the year of the fire horse really kicks off in earnest, we will have that whole year through next February. Horse is seventh in line. So there's 12 animals that I discussed, and Buddha was said to have, you know, invited all of the animals, the 12 earth branches, to come see him off to his enlightenment, his transition, his transformation, if you will. Remember, energy never dies, only transforms. Rat was the first to come. I'm the day of the rat. We're very opportunistic. We were one. We were there early, like I was today. But horse was there seventh. Okay, seventh in line. There's 12. The Chinese name is Wu. So I discussed a little bit about how I read and I write Chinese. I'm getting back into speaking it. I need to practice it. It's literally a foreign language, like a foreign language. And so if I'm not practicing, you can lose that. If we're saying fire in Chinese, it's ping. So ping wu is the Chinese New Year this year. We have a lot of stamina, a lot of independence, a lot of cheerfulness. We love attention. We're independent. So all these qualities will come into play this year. Some of the voids, let's think about it. We have a knife blade this year. So it's rebellious this year. When I did the 3 pillars, I don't have the time. I didn't do the time for that 4th pillar, and no need to get into it. I think you all can read this a wee bit. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's backwards. I remember this from last time. If you look, we have the year of the horse, then it's the month of the tiger, his buddy, then it's the day of the dog, his other buddy, and the 3 all come out to make fire. So if this was the year you were born, you actually had a baby on this day, 2/17/26, this would be the astrology of these 3 pillars. And I thought it was fascinating that these 3 combined to make another element of fire. So we really have this dynamic fire happening this year. We're on fire. And, you know, take that as it will. Take that directly. You decide what that means. Fire in its destructive state can leave a trail of devastation. We don't want that. We want to stay in balance this year. But can we control the outcomes of things? Not really. Collectively, as a community, we can come together for a lot. But individually, you really want to be the change you say you want in the world. You want to heal the world, you got to heal yourself. That's my message for those following along with me, for those that have been clients of mine. You have to be the change. You can't control your children. You can't control your spouse, your partner, your friends, your boss. Really, the serenity prayer always becomes my friend. All you can do is control the response to what's happening around you. What does that look like? Are you going to get up wound tight like I usually used to do up till now? The new Jackie is working on breathing through it, staying calm. Everything happens for a reason. It's all working out in divine time. So I thought that was fascinating that those three pillars come out to more fire, and the water of the dog day that I did in this year's Chinese astrology rebels against the year. So there will be rebellion. I think the people will say not enough. If you're a truth seeker like I am and a seeker of spirituality, kind of understanding that you got to walk the walk and talk the talk. You can't talk it and then not walk it because nobody's listening to a thing you're saying. They're watching all your actions. So I really teach from experience. I was able to transform my life on many levels. Who says so? And that's what I in turn teach you folks. So thanks for being with me. Hopefully, if you get one thing out of this, I'm doing great. I'm doing my job. That's what I always say. If I can teach one thing to everyone a day, wouldn't that be amazing if you could learn one new thing that you didn't know you didn't know? Okay, what else can I tell you? So Fire Horse will be born in the wood season. Wood feeds fire. More of that fire, fire, fire. Let me see. Do I have Raphael's book handy? I do. So this is my teacher's book, Feng Shui Strategies for Business Success. Or there's also Step by Step. He's written both. The other one has a blue cover. You've seen me use this before. Ooh, wait a minute. I could do the numerology right now, the 187. Let me do that. I wasn't even thinking that, but let's pivot and do that. So when we add up the one of the year, so numerology, 9-star numbers, here is the Ming-Hua of this year. It's a 187, the one being the water, moon, the 8 being the mountain and the earth, and the 7 being the lake, the metal. So we have a few of the seasons elements being represented in the 9-star astrology. So the Ming-Hua number for this year, the birth star number, is the 1 water. Let me read from Raphael's book. When we combine the 187, success depends on securely establishing yourself. You have fine social and communication skills, which you can use to your benefit in any situation. You are generally optimistic and resourceful and can take advantage of the friendliness you inspire in others to further a good cause. Although hardworking and shrewd, of a financial planner, you have a great capacity for enjoyment and will spend your money freely. Don't spend it too freely with all that fire. Remember, we talked about impulsiveness. You tend to be fickle and may find it difficult to make decisions and to keep your word. So this is some of the numerology that comes into play. Remember, when we're looking at an entire astrological chart, there's so much that comes into play that makes us who we are. And then there's experience and beliefs. I'm talking a lot about the belief system this year, and I will continue to do so. Follow along. You can also go to my website, jackiepepper.com, and join my newsletter. It usually comes out about monthly, but definitely around the seasons. The five elements are important to me. So we have that with Raphael. I did have a poem out of this person's book. I've had this for so long. The Handbook of Chinese Horoscopes by Theodora Lau. And she has a poem that I thought was really beautiful for the horse and really surmises the energy in a poem. And it's an I am poem. You all know how I love the I ams. When we're doing mantras, the I am concretizes it, brings us into the moment. Everything is happening in this very moment, which is why I practice and help you practice letting your past stay in your past and creating a future that turns you on, but not being attached to the outcome of that future, hence staying in the present moment. So the I ams. I am the kaleidoscope of the mind. I impart light, color, and perpetual motion. I think, I see, I am moved by electric fluidity. Constant only in my inconsistency, I am unshackled by mundane holds, unchecked by sturdy binding goals, right? Don't let anything bind you this year. I run unimpeded through virgin paths, my spirit unconquered, my soul forever free. I am the horse. I'm so grateful I get to say that because I actually am the horse. But this is a great poem for this year. And you see how it included all of the characteristics of fire and horse really in this year. So I'm looking at the time. I have about 3 more minutes, and then I'd love to open it up to questions. I have a little chat here. Thanks everybody for being with me. I see who's online. If anybody has a question for anything, feng shui, fire, horse, what they're thinking, would love to hear from you. Okay, drop me a comment. If not, I'll keep chatting a little bit about this dynamic fire horse year. I did have some other notes that I wanted. This one is another old book of mine, The Complete Book of Chinese Horoscopes by Lori Reed. This is so old, it's actually falling apart. My mom had this one on her bookshelf, and I was like, wait a minute, that's mine. So the Fire Horse, 1906 and 1966, and now we can say 2026, right? So Fire Horse comes about every 60 years. The element matches up again with the earth branch. And this lady says it well. I'm so glad that both of these are women authors. I love that. This is the year of the women, ladies. Okay. The fire horse. The fire horse is a breed apart, volatile, flamboyant, and passionate. There is a strong, wild streak in this animal that makes him or her want to live life on the edge. The Chinese say that the fire horse leaves a trail of devastation behind wherever it goes. Given this nature, fire horses fall into one of two groups. They are either hugely fortunate and successful or deeply miserable and unlucky. Now, you can attach to either of those beliefs. I will not accept the miserable and unlucky. No, don't attach yourself to that. I say pooey on that. So that's a no for me. They have great flair, but not much sticking power. Yeah, I would say that's true. It's hard for me for my stick to itedness. I have to focus a lot more on that. Fire infuses their temperaments and they are never lukewarm about anything. Yeah, that's true. I do everything at 150% or I don't do it at all. That's my motive. Let's see. They are always ready to drop one burning torch in favor of the next. A force to be reckoned with if you happen to irritate them. Fire horses are engaging and a little awesome. A little awesome. We're a lot awesome. So that's a little about the fire horse, because there's so much we can talk about. And I might even do part 2 in February, because we have the numerology, we have the elements happening, we have the earth branches. Let me see from my notes if I've missed anything. Again, taking questions if anybody has it. No questions so far. Okay. How is being a fire horse aligned if you are a water sign? Good question. Thank you for that. So it comes into play. We talked about that in the numerology with the one water and the fire happening. And it creates what we're going to consider, I don't love the word conflict, but it creates the oyster and the pearl scenario. So you might be a experiential learner like myself in that scenario, where you're going to have to really get the hard knocks over the head to learn from that experience. I happen to be a Leo, which is a fire fixed sign in a fire horse. Woo! You can see where that's going. But I understand if you have a water sign in the Western, how that would connect in that way. I think it's part of the tapestry. It's the overall tapestry that makes us what we are. And you have many things. Most of us have the 5 elements in their chart. And me as a practitioner, as a master, usually gives one their vital element, which is what we want to pepper in. And I love that I can say that now that my name is Pepper. We can pepper that into the decor, into the feng shui. The vital element is what brings us balance. It's what evens us out. So even though I was born the year of the fire horse, actually my vital element is fire, because I have no wood in my chart. I'm a little bit of an anomaly. Do I come across these charts where somebody has no element? I do, but it's not often. So I would say that the water in the Western and the fire in the Eastern creates power, right? It creates that rub in the oyster, gives you the pearl. So that's pretty dynamic. And I like that. I like that. So thanks for being with me. We're winding down a little bit here. I've been talking for about a half an hour on the fire horse. I wanted to do an imagery exercise for the new year about setting our intentions, setting our aim, not so much our goals, although we can use that. I don't want you to get too attached to the outcome of your goals. It's better if we're fluid and pivoting and going with the flow and trusting that spirit has the greatest and highest interest of ourselves in mind, even if it is a little painful. For those that know me well, you know the last year and a half has been pretty painful. And yet I'm turning my lemons into lemonade. That's what I do. So I teach others how to be their own authority, how to turn their lemons into lemonade. If you need more support on that, please follow me on my YouTube channel. It's my library. It's going to give you how to calculate your Ming Quan number. We're going to go over this year all the 12 earth branches, so you'll get more in detail on your animal sign. I think that's it for the questions, friends. Anybody else have a question for me on any level? Fire horse, what it means in feng shui. I have a north-facing door, and we're going to be in a fire year. So wood would be the friendly element I may want to introduce to my front porch this year with the intention. Remember, intentions are 9/10 of the feng shui law, with your intention to create balance. So always place your items in your feng shui rearranging with deep intention. That's important. I can certainly review anyone's home with you this year. Absolutely. If you go on my website, it's been updated and I have the PhD buttons for everyone. You're probably wondering what that means. PhD is push here, dummy, but I don't like the word dummy. So you come up with your own word on that. But you can go and look at any of my services on my website now, jackiepepper.com, and press a button and literally pay and schedule. I love it. That's what's happening. And yes, I will be offering a lot more classes this year. I'll be doing group. I'll be here live around the full moon every month. You'll see me on YouTube. And my podcast is coming this year. We've got a lot of fun things. Follow along. Fun things. I will be having classes on anything you want. Tell me a subject. I want to teach it. Do you want to bring in a man this year? You want to bring in money? You want to learn how to stay more in the present moment? How to manifest what you say you want in your life? Absolutely. I'm here for it. I'm here for it all. Okay. We are now to the point where I'd love to leave you with an imagery exercise. This is what my teacher, Dr. Jerry, who I've been studying along with for a long time now. I can't believe he'll be gone this February. 7 years? How did that happen? But this is from one of his incredible books, The Encyclopedia of Mental Imagery. And I'll be putting tons of new imagery exercises, hopefully on almost any subject you can think of, on my library here on YouTube. So for those that know, we're getting in the feral position. You're sitting upright in your chair. Clear your desk, clear your notes, feet flat on the floor, and palms on your lap if, in fact, you don't have an arm of a chair. We're starting out with a slow exhalation. You're going to breathe out 3 times. The reason we start with a long exhalation is it connects to the vagus nerve and calms us down. So let's begin. Close your eyes. Breathe out 3 times slowly, and then breathe normally. This is intention to find spiritual freedom for this year. I want you to go back to this imagery exercise every time you want freedom right here. So breathe out 3 times, see, sense, and feel yourself. Live and know how freedom can be connected directly to our physical relationship to life. Breathe out once and see, feel, and sense why without being in a physical body, freedom cannot happen. Breathe out once. Experience yourself as a dot in the center of the circle. See, sense, and live the present moment as no time. Sense and feel how the imagery process allows us to live the presence of the present. When you're ready, breathe out once and open your eyes. How's everyone feeling? Anybody need to share? Hopefully that felt calming and you saw yourself connected. I have another one. We have a few minutes. I'd love to share this one. It's about becoming clear and transparent for detoxification. Let's all detoxify the past, let it go. 2025 happened. It's in our rearview mirror. Listen, the reason they make the windshield so big and the rearview mirror so small, don't focus on the past. Okay, if you'd like to follow along for one more imagery exercise, this is going to connect us with a blue light and a cleansing, a detoxing. We're going to open up the energy for the new aims and experiences that are happening this year of this incredible fire horse, dynamic movement, change. Okay, so back into your Pharaoh's position. Breathe out 3 times slowly. I'll let you get into that. And this is about becoming clear and transparent for the detoxification of the new year. We're getting ready for all the newness. See and feel the psychic winds as blue light sounding sweetly. Sense it entering your body, slowly feeling it. See and sense your body filled with blue light. Breathe out once. See and hear the blue psychic wind cleaning out of the body all that has to be cleansed by dissolving it. Feel and see your solar plexus as a knot, untied and unraveled by the process of fulfillment of the blue light in your body. When you're ready, breathe out once and open your eyes. I hope that helped cleanse the body, ready for energy of the new year of this incredible fire horse. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope to see you next month on my full moon live. More on the fire horse. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude. Bye for now. I hate to leave. I'm loving this. And I don't know how to turn it off. End the stream. That would be the button. Love you guys. Hope to see you here soon. Ciao, ciao.